Pro-lifers in California are trying to stop what they say is censorship of the effectiveness of abortion pill reversals. The state's attorney general sued 5 pro-life pregnancy centers back in 2023. He says their claims a drug can reverse chemical abortions are misleading. In a lawsuit, the pro-lifers say the attorney general violated freedom of speech and religious freedom. The nation's largest abortion provider has released its annual report. Planned Parenthood says, according to its most recent data from 2023, it performed 402,230 abortions. That's up 2.4%, a new record. Planned Parenthood also received more than $790 million in taxpayer funds. That is an increase of more than 13%. The report also says nearly 97% of the women seeking help for their pregnancy were given an abortion rather than prenatal care or a plan for an adoption. And for every adoption referral, Planned Parenthood performed 187 abortions. For more now, we turn to Michael New, Senior Associate Scholar for the Charlotte Lozier Institute and an Assistant Professor of Practice at the Catholic University of America. Michael, good to see you. That report, you know, you read the numbers and you just, tragic, right? But what stands out to you in that report, Planned Parenthood's annual report?
Well, it's sadly the same story every year. They do more abortions. They did over 400,000. Sadly, that's a new record. They receive more taxpayer funding, over $790 million. That's a 13% increase over the previous year. And they do less and less in the way of health services. Cancer screenings fell by 8%. Primary care visits fell by more than 13%. UTI treatments fell by more than 45%. So it's kind of the same story every year. More abortions, more taxpayer funding, and less health care.
So right now, as you well know, you're well aware, efforts to defund Planned Parenthood are happening in Congress. Do you think that'll happen?
I'm cautiously optimistic. I think Republicans have a unique opportunity because right now Republicans control both the presidency and both chambers of the House. There's a real effort in the reconciliation package, which is helpful because we only need a majority to get that through. So again, this is a unique opportunity for the pro-life movement. We've invested a lot of time, effort, energy, resources. Speaker Mike Johnson's been very outspoken. He's made it very clear he wants Planned Parenthood defunded. So again, I can't predict the future, but I think we have a strong chance.
On that subject, let me read something here. SBA, Pro-Life America, well-known pro-life organization, says, quote, big abortions lying pressure campaign is in full swing, end quote. The lie is that defunding Planned Parenthood, quote, will strip Americans from being able to get basic health care, end quote. And SBA says some lawmakers are buying that lie. Do you see it that way as well, sir?
Absolutely not. That, what can happen is that you can, through Medicaid, get health care coverage through federally qualified health care centers. And they outnumber Planned Parenthood by a significant margin. And especially in rural parts of the country, conservative parts of the country, these federally qualified health centers, are pretty prevalent, whereas Planned Parenthood are very scarce. So people get the health care they need. They just can't get the health care they need from places like Planned Parenthood that perform abortions.
Right, but do you think lawmakers, as SBA pointed out, or lawmakers, some of them are falling for this lie by Planned Parenthood?
Yeah, I hope not. I think Democrats, for political reasons, are going to always support Planned Parenthood. They get a lot of money from the abortion industry. I'm hoping that the Republicans hold their ground. I think we have the data there. If the Republicans are willing to listen to what we have to say, I think we have a very compelling argument, and I think we can make some real headway in getting Planned Parenthood defunded this year.
In addition, USCCB, the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops, says in addition to all their abortions that they perform, Planned Parenthood, quote, is a leading provider of gender transition hormone treatments, and gender transition in quotes there, including to minors, and they're also calling for a defunding of Planned Parenthood and asking for Catholics to contact their local lawmakers.
That's correct. The gender transition, quote unquote, treatments have been lucrative for Planned Parenthood. It's kind of interesting. In the report, they're very open about the number of abortions they do. They always have been. They don't really talk much about, quote unquote, gender transition much. They don't give hard data. I think they realize it's politically sensitive. I don't think they want to advertise how much they do. But again, I agree that this is a revenue source for them. It certainly runs contrary to church teaching, and I think is another compelling reason to defund Planned Parenthood.
Well, we'll see if that indeed happens in the coming weeks. I know they want to have this bill done by Memorial Day. And Michael New, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it, and you're always welcome here.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Okay.